Hello all and welcome back to the set of CAD software tutorials hosted by Ishir Wadhwa and Emanuele Borlandelli. Today this is the second episode of the series of Fusion 360 in which we're going to look at generative design. This is obviously available only if you have the latest version of Fusion. But anyway, what we do here in this case, what I'll do is I'll just go on to the generative design samples and select the GE bracket. And then what I'll just do is I'll start saving, because then I can't modify my my model. I'll just save it as trial. Why not? Just save it for the time being. And I'll click on generative design. So generative design, what it does is it's very easy to understand. So once we import a model into the generative design tab and we give it a set of rules, it will Fusion will generate 2,000 or even 3,000 of different alternative prototypes that might meet all the that obviously all meet the rules that we've given previously, and that might optimize the mass, the stiffness, the cost of production, the materials, the durability of our model. So this is very helpful when, for instance, we want to find an alternative design and we have no ideas. In this way, Fusion obviously helps you with this. We start off with the guide, which I'm not going to define, but it's basically what I'm doing right now. The study, I already started the study 1. The model is fine, so I'll just enter design space. So these preserve geometry. So these are the shapes that don't change during the oh my bad. I'll just click on that and I'll just do again. So these are the shapes that don't change in our obviously in our models, in our 2,000 or even 3,000 models that Fusion 360 does. So I'll just click OK, and for the time being it's fine. Then I have another one that is obstacle geometry. Now in this case, these two bodies will not be will not have any sort of obstacles, such as, for instance, if I see the preview of obstacle geometry, if I select the wheel, that means that no other object will intersect or disturb, or in essence be an obstacle to that component of the model. Finally, we have the starting shape. The starting shape is the basic shape that all of my the auto-generated prototypes will have. In this case, I won't put any, because obviously I just won't, as this isn't too much of a complex shape. Structural constraints, I'll just constrain the rings or the cylinders that are the green ones, not all of them. I'll explain later why. Finally, I'll apply the load. Now, load can be a force, can be pressure, can be momentum, can be anything. I'll just put a force for the time being, and I'll just apply it on the two external parts of the rings, and give it a magnitude of 1,000 and 1,500. So yeah, so basically in this scenario here, we can also change the direction, the XYZ direction of the force, which I won't do in this case, but I'll just, as I said, put in 1,500 and 1,000. So I'll just click on OK. I'll just repeat the same thing. Repeat structural loads, this and this. And I'm just putting random values, if I have to be honest, just because this isn't very helpful for me. Like in the future, I won't use this model. It's just for the CAS project. So here we have our forces, right? These are the vectors of our forces. For the time being, I'll just unpin it. So yeah, we have our forces, which obviously don't show, but they can be seen in our loads. We have gravity that is acting on the whole object, which in this case I'll leave actually, because obviously there's everything that's on Earth has gravity, but usually this messes up a lot the prototypes, but I'll just leave it for the time being. Anyway, I've got my forces here. All I need now is to select, obviously the design criteria are the objectives, minimize mass for me, and the safety factor is a factor for the production, which isn't useful right now. Obviously manufacturing, I would use a CAM software just for the manufacturing area because it's much more accurate. Then we have the study materials. Here we can select all the materials that we want all of our prototypes to be. So for instance, I'll just go on non-linear ones, click on metals, select a few. One. Oh, yeah, it wasn't added. Oh, it can't be added because it's non-linear. Okay. So I'll just add any if I have to be honest. So I'll add actually a few metals I'll add the aluminium one. Then I'll add some steel, and why not some titanium if I can find it. Yeah, that is right here. Right, so these three mods, so aluminium, steel, and titanium are going to be the three materials that all of my prototypes are going to have. So some of them are going to be made in titanium, some of them are going to be made in steel, some of them are going to be made in aluminium, for instance. And I'll just click all right. Okay. It gives us a pre-check. Obviously, there are a few problems. The materials, obviously, because you first need to download them, which I didn't do in this case. And the milling of the head diameter is large compared, so this is a problem in the manufacturing, which doesn't worry me too much for the moment, just because I'm not actually manufacturing it. So I'll just hit on close. And when I can go and generate, I'll just obviously generate it. I won't repair it for the time being. And I'll generate one study. Obviously, I had another. Oh, it already completed. So let's see. So usually, what happens here is that you would need like some cloud credits. But in this case, it says it's free just because it's from the 31st of January 2020. That is, 1st of January 2020. That is free for everyone. You don't need credits. But anyway, this is what happens. So in poor words, what happens is that here, I think I set something like 2000, Actually, I'll just cancel for the time being because I want to show one more thing which I forgot of showing. So I just click on generative design. Yeah, this is my generative design. Anyway, what I'll do is, just for the manufacturing, what do I do is unrestricted means there are no rules. So like more models can be generated. Minimum thickness regards the production. All of these regard the production, but just the production volume is the number of outcome units you plan to manufacture. So basically, in poor words, it's the number of prototypes I'll end up having. And this was pretty much it. I'll just do it one more time just to show you guys. So obviously here it's loading, and it takes quite a bit of time. But then what happens is that you have all these models, and you can select them depending on mass, stiffness, obviously all the criteria you've selected previously. So this is all for the time being. Anyway, I'll just show you when it loads. Yeah, this is what I meant. You can have a range of volume, mass, obviously Max von Mises stress, that is just the stress, the overall stress in the X, Y, and Z direction. Factor of safety, not very important. Cost of production, and all of these factors that we've talked about previously. This is all for the time being. Thanks for watching, and see you for the third episode of Fusion 360.